Hello everyone, welcome again to my YouTube channel. Today I want to talk to you briefly about moving out of the city to live in the country. Country living. I think there are many advantages to moving out of the cities and living in the country area. Because I was once living in the city, a big city with over 500,000 people. But I've decided to move out and to live in the country. So I took my family and we were off to the country, away from the traffic, where we can breathe the fresh, clean air. This is very beneficial to your health. As a child growing up, I lived in Jamaica, in the country area of, it's called Manchester. And there you learn to be industrious. You learn to raise cows. We had to raise chickens. That's how we got our eggs in the morning. We didn't buy eggs. We just got our eggs from the chicken. We would also raise our own little chicks, those cute little chicks. We didn't set alarm clocks. Do you know what wake us up in the morning? Yes, the sound of the rooster. About 6 o'clock every morning, faithfully, that rooster would begin to crow. Say it's waking up time, time to go out and go on the farm. Time to get out of bed, time to go to work, time to go get some of the morning dew on your faces. I would have to take out the animals. Sometimes it's goats, sometimes it's cows, and even the pigs. And we would take them out to graze all day. And then we would come back for them in the evening. And in some parts of the country, we would go to do our own fishing. We would catch a lot of small fish and we would fry them and enjoy them with some nice fried dumplings, or sometimes we would just use bread. We didn't have the luxury of having city water, so we had our own tanks and we catch rainwater, and that is how we would have our drinking water, water to wash, and water to do our daily chores, to bathe, etc., etc. So the country teaches you a lot of things. You can be self-sufficient. We would catch the water from the roof, set up our drums and our pipes. Well, in my days, we didn't have solar panel. We didn't know about these things. But when I returned to Jamaica recently, people were using solar energy to power their houses. So they didn't depend on the grid. And it's initially costly, but eventually, over the years, you make back all that money that you would have spent on the power grid. Every young child in the country had to learn to do some farming and some gardening, to learn to grow your own food. We had to learn how to plant corn and yam hill, dig those yam hills. I bet most of you don't even know what that is all about. We would plant sweet potato as well, peas, and just about anything that we could get to farm, we would farm it. So most times when you live in the country areas, you don't depend on the government to feed you. You are self-sufficient, so you feed yourself. Hunting is a skill that every young child should acquire. So teach your children or your child or your young man or your daughter how to hunt. You gotta teach those kids how to make a fire without using kerosene oil or gas. We normally use just, we call it brang brang. That's some little pieces of sticks that we would light, as well as some dry grass, and we would use the matches and maybe some paper, dry newspaper, and we would start a fire and get the pot going. And I don't know if you guys know, but cooking on wood fire, wow, there's nothing sweeter, especially if you've got a what we call a Dutch pot, those steel pots. Oh man, the food tastes exceptionally sweet. And one of the sweetest thing to country living is seeing and hearing Mother Nature. You would hear beautiful birds chirping in the wild. Oh, it's so good. The countryside is beautiful for meditation. Most times you can find places on a hilltop where it's calm and serene, so you can practice your daily meditation and make connection with your inner being and make connection with your God, whoever you conceive him to be. Just making that connection with your creator. It's awesome when you're in the country areas. And as night falls, man, sometimes you can see the display of the sun setting, and there's this panoramic view of the sky. Sometimes it's like it's on fire, but it's awesome. It's beautiful. And that's why I love living in the country areas, taking your kids out for a walk to watch the sunset. I hope that you got something from this presentation and that you will think of leaving the big cities where your taxes are so high, so much stress, and just find somewhere to live in the country. And it's better, it's safer, and it's good for your whole mental well-being and also for your children. Thank you very much for listening. I'll see you again in my next video. Don't forget, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, just subscribe, and always remember to give me a thumbs up, help out the algorithm, and you can leave a comment. I'd like to hear what you think about country living versus city living, and also share this with somebody who may need to hear it. Thanks again. God bless and goodbye.